Turnpike Sports is brought to you by Drizzly, your online liquor store. Available in over 95 cities across North America, Drizzly offers a huge selection and competitive pricing with a side of personalized content. Now there's no need to leave the house. Get alcohol delivered in less than an hour by Drizzly. Head on over to drizzly.com and order today. And now get $5 off your first order of $20 or more when using promo code DRINK19 at checkout. Shop beer, wine, and liquor with drizzly.com. Welcome to Turnpike Sports. I'm Dave Weishuttle, and as always, I'm joined by my producer and co-host, Doug Weishuttle. Doug, it's week 4 of the NFL, and I guess all things are Brady Belichick this week.
Isn't everything always Brady Belichick? I mean, it's one of those things where you would have thought that there'd be some sort of separation between the two, but no matter whatever you talk about, whether if you're talking about the Buccaneers or whether if you're talking about the Patriots, you always put those two together, Brady and Belichick. Well, and I guess that's 20 years worth of work. You can't really separate the two.
Let me tell you, I got caught up in the hype because I'm going to preview a little bit of my Week 4 NFL pick. I'm going with that game. I'm not going to tell you what I did right now, but I did jump on it.
I stayed away from it.
You did? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I couldn't help it. It just I was looking at the sportsbook and it seemed to be glowing in my eyes. So, I jumped on it.
You stay away from things betting with your heart kind of thing. I am a Jet fan, and anything that negative happens with the Patriots, I really do enjoy to a certain extent. I mean, I just stayed away from it. I'm going to just enjoy that game.
This is one of those games where, when we give our picks, we usually give some stats to back up our reasoning and things like that. I wrote down my reasoning. I didn't put any of the stats in. This is all what I saw on TV. So, I didn't do any research on it except for my own eyes watching these two teams.
The one thing that always mystifies me, and I'm talking about this season with New England, because, we do have an office up in Boston, and you listen to the New England sports talk radio, and they, up until this last game where Mac Jones threw 3 interceptions,
they were hyping him up.
They thought he was the greatest thing since sliced bread.
Let me tell you something.
I think their defense is suspect. Their offensive line is terrible. And I think what they're doing is maybe Mac Jones can't understand a lot of the playbook.
Well, first off,
because it is a complicated playbook.
Now I'm getting into my analysis while I'm doing it. The defense for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers will be in the New England offensive backfield all day. I mean, Mac Jones will be hurried. He'll be hit. He'll see ghosts.
Especially if James White's not there.
He will be seeing ghosts.
Especially without James White.
Yep. Well, we got a great show coming up. We got a Beatin The House segment. We got our Week 4 NFL picks. We got a little preview of that coming up. We got a book report, but in my interview section, we're going to be talking some eSports. I'm talking with Ari Fox, who is the creator of the Casino Esports Conference, which is being held in Las Vegas at Alexis Park this year on October 6th and the 7th. And he's going to tell us all about this incredible event. Today's trip down the Turnpike is brought to you by Drizzly, your online liquor store. Available in over 95 cities across North America, Drizzly offers a huge selection and competitive pricing with a side of personalized content. Now there's no need to leave the house. Get alcohol delivered in less than an hour by Drizzly. Head on over to drizzly.com and order today. And now get $5 off your first order of $20 or more when using our promo code DRINK19 at checkout. Shop beer, wine, and liquor with drizzly.com.
Exit 1.
Okay, we just had Responsible Gambling Education Week. brought to everybody through the American Gaming Association. And in conjunction with that Education Week, the American Gaming Association also released the results of a new gambling favorability study or survey.
There's a lot of surveys and studies coming out in the fall.
Well, again,
that must be the time for surveys.
It has something to do with a lot of fiscal years ending, as well as the beginning of the NFL season is always a tipping point for a lot of things, and it's a good time to start a comparison for everything. But the new gambling favorability survey shows that 2/3 of adults in this country view the industry as a positive economic contributor that provides high-quality jobs.
Great.
I mean, that's a common sense statement, but again, it's one of those things where I think this is more human nature, where you start seeing something doing something good for you, you're going to like it more.
Well, look, gaming is everywhere. You turn on the news, you turn on the sports shows and things like that. You see all the numbers from the sports books, and you see all the great reports. It's helping schools, it's helping the budgets for states. It's really great.
Well, going along with what you just said about helping schools and other businesses,
right.
Nearly 7 in 10 Americans believe the gaming industry behaves responsibly, and a majority believe the industry gives back in the communities where it operates.
Absolutely, I think it does.
I mean, it's not an overwhelming majority; it's 57%, but it's a indication that the gambling industry is doing something right in the deals it's making.
Yeah, and especially coming out of the pandemic when, states really need money into their coffers. And I think gambling and sports betting in a responsible way helps states get back on their feet after the pandemic.
Well, going along with some of their other numbers,
all right,
2/3 of adults view the industry as a positive economic contributor that provides high-quality jobs. I just mentioned that really briefly. This is one of those industries, as soon as they announce a casino deal was made with a county or a state, the immediate thing is construction jobs.
Oh, let me tell you something.
There's jobs every phase of a casino.
There are so many jobs. There's construction. There's actually working the casino floor. There's working in the sports books. There's, the shops in the casinos. There's the restaurants in the casinos. It is such a boost to the economy in a community where a casino goes because such great jobs are being offered to the people in the community. So, it's a great thing.
Well, the other aspect of this survey was for responsible gambling.
Sure.
And the numbers there are actually kind of interesting to see. And I'm going to say that they increased from the previous years. The number of Americans who say the industry is committed to responsible gaming increased by nearly 40% since 2018.
Sure.
I mean, they're becoming more transparent. They're becoming more, I don't want to say obvious, but more prevalent. When you walk into a casino, you start seeing responsible gambling signs.
Oh, absolutely. And, during every commercial, you see a responsible gambling message at the very end. So, people are seeing that the industry itself is taking responsibility, and I think it's great.
Nearly 80% of the past year's gamblers are aware of industry-provided responsible gaming resources, like hotlines, that sort of situation. Sure. And of this group, about 75% point to specific measures like deposit limits, casino employee training, and time limits as the most effective.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
I remember you did a story in, I think it was one of our gaming reports, where a country is now installing clocks on slot machines.
It's Macau. It's they're putting clocks on slot machines. The screens of the slot machines, so you can see how long you're playing.
Well, it's one of those efforts that actually seems to be paying off.
I mean, look, remember still in casinos, you don't see clocks very often on the gaming floor.
Now you're seeing them on the machines.
Now it's front and center in Macau to show people how long they're playing. So.
And the last little number, nearly 9 in 10 Americans, almost about 87%, believe that gambling is an acceptable form of entertainment for themselves and others.
Great! Wow.
Again, that's a common sense one. If
that's 87%. That's very high.
That's an incredibly high number. But again, if it's benefiting you, you're going to like it more, and that's what's happening in the country. They're seeing the benefits of the gambling industry.
Mm-hmm.
Exit 2.
We've always talked about how, in terms of the eSports industry, how the military uses esports for recruiting. And they're always trying to
I think
develop...
esports, I said it before, I think esports are a great training device. I mean, they're almost like simulations for combat. And I remember there used to be, I don't know if this is part of esports now, there's the flight simulators and things like that. So I'm not sure if there's esports like that.
Well, I'm sure the Air Force has them.
But, it increases hand-eye coordination, and I think it's a team-building exercise, too, because a lot of these esports have teams and they work with each other.
Well, what I was going to talk about here is, even though they use it for realistic purposes, sometimes they just want to play games.
Oh, sure, yeah, no, and it's fun. I'm glossing over the fun aspect of it.
Well, there is a new website recently launched to give active duty Marines to participate in video game tournaments that are all Marine teams.
Great.
Marine Corps Gaming is the name of the service offering the website. It's also an unofficial platform. It's not really associated with the Marine Corps, but it's the Marine Corps Gaming, and it's connecting active duty Marines to other active duty Marines so that they can join esports teams and play with other Marines.
Great.
It's kind of an interesting situation where you don't think about that, where they don't have a specific site to play with their own peers.
Yeah, I think every branch of the military should have their own esports team. I mean, in football, you have the Army-Navy game. Can you imagine an esports game, Army-Navy with esports? That'd be great.
Well, the officer running it, Captain Michael McGiddy, he hopes that this Marine Corps gaming platform will become the official platform for the Marine Corps for esports.
I hope so. It's a great idea.
And they're using it for an additional purpose. Now, the armed services have what's called the Call of Duty Endowment Bowl.
Oh, okay. Almost like the Army-Navy game, huh?
Almost. Kind of, but it's all the military, it's all the armed services.
Okay.
And it's kind of interesting. The December 10th Endowment Bowl is going to be held on the aircraft carrier Intrepid in New York City.
Wow, that's great.
And it's going to be fun to watch this. They're going to have, for the first time this year, they're going to have the Coast Guard involved with it. Coast Guard is fielding a team.
I hope some media covers this. I mean, when we're talking about esports, well, I guess we're always talking about Twitch. So hopefully, but like an ESPN or a Fox jumps in on this. I think it'd be a great thing to watch.
This Marine Corps site, Marine Corps Gaming, is also going to be used to identify players for the team that the Marine Corps is hoping to field for the Code Bowl. They call it the Code Bowl.
The Code Bowl?
CODE.
So what's that stand for again?
Call of Duty Endowment Bowl.
Okay.
And again, they're trying to get this incorporated as the official gaming site for the Marine Corps. What they're doing is the only way you can register to play in this Call of Duty bowl, as well as also on this site, you have to have active duty status confirmed, and you have to be an active duty Marine. And somehow, when you confirm your active duty status, you're allowed to go to this Marine Corps gaming site and apply to start playing and qualify for this bowl.
Great.
So it's going to be kind of interesting to watch how they do that. And also, I hope some of the other branches start doing this as well, because it's a great way to not just, train and recruit. It's also, they need the fun, too.
Yeah, no, let them have fun. It's great.
Exit 3.
Okay, now we're going into a little bit of a different topic here. We're not doing esports this time. We're doing a regular sports team.
A regular sports team.
Yeah. A normal, everyday sports team.
A traditional sports team.
Yeah. The English Premier League football team, soccer, the Wolverhampton Wanderers Football Club, a.k.a. the Wolves, have teamed up with Warner Music to launch a new record label.
Okay, all right. And what are they going to be playing on these new albums? I don't know if you even call them albums anymore.
Well, they're going to be looking for artists who want to send in their music to be part of. They're going to do retail sales, all that stuff with regards to the artists' recordings and music and compositions. But one of the interesting things they're going to be doing, the team is also going to include the music in the stadium.
Well, they should. I mean, it's a great way to get the music out. Certainly, you have a captive audience in the stadium, and
I wouldn't call it a captive.
Well,
audience,
no, I mean, they're not going anywhere. They're not going outside the stadium, and like between, I don't even know what you call it. If the ball goes out of bounds, you play some of the music and you get people interested in the music that they're
even before, after, even out in the parking lots.
Well,
all
look,
that stuff.
Everyone needs a goal song, so might as well be on your own record label.
Well, even think about this: you could sell it in the gift shops at the stadiums.
Absolutely,
too.
yeah.
Put the artists on the sweatshirts, all that. So a lot of copyright issues. Let me tell you that about with this stuff, but. They're doing it. They're actually doing this not just for local artists, but they're hoping to do it on a national and an international level at some point. They actually brought in somebody really big, Peter Rudge, who managed the Who and the Rolling Stone, the Rolling Stones, I should say. I'm sorry about that. He joined as a strategic consultant.
I think it's great. No, like I said, music has become a big thing for the in the stadiums. Down home, in Philadelphia, there's a contest that the Philadelphia Flyers are looking for new goal song, and they're asking for contributions from their fans to see which goal song would be they want for the year. So I think it's great. Music in stadiums is a great thing.
Now, are they doing original music, or are they just doing?
I have no idea.
Have they picked out the songs, and you're supposed to choose?
I know a lot of people are sending in their requests or their suggestions for the Philadelphia Flyers' new goal song, and I don't know. By the time this airs, they might have it, because I know preseason hockey starts. So no, but
boy, hockey season! Wow,
that's just an indication of how important music is in the stadiums.
Well, Warner Music has always done things outside the box. I know they were one of the first ones to get involved with eSports too. Mm-hmm. Especially in terms of getting music into the games, as well as doing playlists with Spotify.
There was a CD a couple of years ago called Jock Rock, which was all of the stadium songs in one CD. So, it's apparently it's a big seller. So why not do your own record label?
Well, the Wolves are going to focus in the area of the Midlands. That's where the team is located.
Well, that's their fan base.
Yep. And then they have the ambition to go global at some point. And I guess with Warner Music backing them, that might actually happen really quick.
Look, there's always hockey. There's always soccer on TV. I was watching soccer last weekend, so and I know the Wolverhampton Wanderers Football Club because they said that was the next game coming up on the thing. And this is I was watching in New Jersey, and these guys are in England, so certainly it has a global appeal, and a new record label would certainly have a global appeal.
Well, they are actually one of the more popular teams, especially with some of the sports betting deals they did with some of the companies here in the United States.
Exit 4.
And last but not least, we are going to be talking about the world's first NFT slot machine.
See, I heard about this, and I'm trying to figure out how does the NFT element become involved in a slot machine?
Well, it becomes involved in a slot machine not in the way you're thinking it becomes involved in a slot machine.
Okay.
Red Tiger Gaming, which is a subsidiary of Evolution Gaming. You know the guys that do the live player studio stuff?
Sure.
They have released what they're calling the world's first non-fungible token-inspired slot game. They use the word inspired.
Okay, inspired.
Yeah. It's just simply called the NFT Megaways. Now, that's a combination of two different marketing angles. The NFTs, which are becoming hugely popular around the world.
Sure.
And the Megaway slot that they've developed, which is all different ways of, getting money payouts, that sort of stuff, all different combinations, different levels within the slot machines themselves. So they've combined these two, called it the NFT Megaways. And what they have done, they went and got 4 different assets from a company called CryptoPunks. Mm-hmm. That's the company that makes certain NFTs.
All right.
As a matter of fact, they've incorporated CryptoPunks 914, 3008, 4701, and 8143. There's 4 different NFTs that CryptoPunk sells.
Okay. All right.
And they put them into the reels.
Now it's in the reel. So if you get, say, 3 NFTs of the same kind across the thing, that's a jackpot kind of thing. Is that what we're talking about?
They're making
here?
them symbols in the game itself.
All right.
So
okay.
Yeah, it actually, from all reports, the game pays out better than a lot of other games.
Good.
96% payout.
Wow. Okay.
So it's always going to kick back some money.
Good.
The catchphrases "Get Punks, Get Rich" is going to be appearing throughout the game as you play it. There's going to be a dedicated bar with a lot of the NFT artwork on it, and symbols and phrases. And also, this is interesting. They're going to have a user interface that will have various references to all different cryptocurrencies. They're going to have Ethereum, Bitcoin, Dogecoin, and Litecoin symbols throughout the game. They're also going to have a symbol dedicated to Tesla's armored vehicle, the Cybertruck.
This is going to be an interesting game to look at. I'm trying to figure out what what all these references will look like on this machine, but now when we say slot machine, are they talking about this is going to be on gaming floors in retail casinos? Will this go to online casinos? Where can we kind of see
this? This can go either place.
Yeah, I guess it could.
They just released it.
Well, let's be honest.
No one's picked it up yet. No one's picked it up yet.
Any slot machine can go any place because it's all video now.
Yeah,
I don't think. I think you see the old ones with the actual reels going around and you pull the arm and things like that. But, not a lot of people play them anymore.
Well, it makes me wonder, CryptoPunks is one of the NFT companies out there. I'm waiting to see if some of these other major NFT companies, like what's Brady's? Autograph?
Autograph, yeah.
I wonder if he's going to start getting, doing this, because this is a great idea.
Oh, sure, absolutely.
This is another way to sell your NFTs and also sell future NFTs.
Slot machines are a great thing because now you're seeing TV shows and movies and whatever slot machines. I mean, they go and get the license to do these slot machines, and it's a great promotion for whatever media thing you're doing. And today's Strip Down the Turnpike was brought to you by Drizzly, your online liquor store. Available in over 95 cities across North America, Drizzly offers a huge selection and competitive pricing with a side of personalized content. Now there's no need to leave the house. Get alcohol delivered in less than an hour by Drizzly. Head on over to drizzly.com and order today. And now get $5 off your first order of $20 or more when using our promo code DRINK19 at checkout. Shop beer, wine, and liquor with drizzly.com.
And as always, you can get in touch with Turnpike Sports by calling or texting us at 609-512-5910. That's 609-512-5910. At Turnpike Sports is the show's handle on Facebook and Twitter. At Turnpike Sports Radio is our handle on Instagram. And as always, our email address is info@turnpikesportsradio.com. And don't forget, you can listen to the show via Spotify, Amazon Music, iTunes, radio.com mobile app, as well as Stitcher and YouTube. You can also watch us on your smart TV, Roku, Amazon Fire, Apple TV. Head on over to turnpikesports.net. You'll be able to watch our video channel there.
Well, we got a great show coming up for you. We got a Beatin the House segment and plus our Week 4 picks, and certainly want to have our Turnpike Sports book report. But right after this, I am talking with Ari Fox from the Casino eSports Conference. It's being held at Alexis Park Resorts in Las Vegas on October 6th and 7th. So when we come back, I'm talking with Ari Fox all about eSports. Stick around. We'll be right back with more Turnpike Sports.
Is your bathroom looking old and worn out? Want to update it, but you don't know where to start? Then let BCI Bath & Shower show you how to turn that old bath into an aisle of beauty and functionality. Our residential bathroom solutions provide the best value on the market, and our customer service is second to none. Our cost-effective BCI Bath & Shower family of products has what you need.
Remodeling our bathroom was a big decision for us.
They didn't make a mess out of our house at all. And at the end of the day, we had a beautiful new bathroom. And it was a great experience the whole way through.
We have the best monthly payment programs in the industry, with payments as low as $68 per month or no interest, no payments for 18 months. That's right. Get the bathroom of your dreams now and pay for it in 2021. Call 1-800-308-8291 for a free no-obligation price quote. That's 1-800-308-8291. When you want quality bathroom products at a great price, it's got to be BCI Bath & Shower. That's 1-800-308-8291.
Tax Solutions Now is a complimentary referral service that connects callers to companies that provide tax services. Money matters. If you owe thousands in back taxes to the IRS, how much can Tax Solutions Now save you?
I paid less than I owe.
That's right, money matters. So call Tax Solutions Now and get the IRS off your back. Since 2014, Tax Solutions Now has been a leader in the tax resolution industry. Remove wage garnishments, property liens, fines, and penalties. Qualify for the Fresh Start program or even uncollectible status. How much can Tax Solutions Now save you?
I owed the IRS over $10,000. I paid a fraction of what I owed.
Call now to reduce or even eliminate your back taxes.
I called Tax Solutions Now and got the IRS off my back. Thanks. You saved us a ton of money.
Money matters. How much can Tax Solutions Now save you? Call now and find out.
Call 800-683-7377. 800-683-7377. 800-683-7377.
Auto Accident Help Desk is a marketing agency connecting callers with attorneys. Providers pay a fee for advertising services.
I love getting my kids ready and driving them to school.
But a careless driver can change your life in an instant, and insurance companies want to settle on the cheap. Auto Accident Help Desk connects victims with powerful lawyers. They fight for you.
I called Auto Accident Help Desk and got help for my pain and suffering.
Don't let an insurance company take advantage of you. Our attorneys fight and beat big insurance every day.
Call 800-297-9766. 800-297-9766.
If you've been injured in an automobile accident in the last 6 months, you owe it to yourself to make this free call with no obligation. We're available 24/7 to help you get the money you deserve for your pain and suffering. Auto Accident Help Desk helps accident victims like you every day.
Call 800-297-9766. 800-297-9766. 800-297-9766.
Welcome back to Turnpike Sports. One of the hottest topics in gaming today is eSports. Its growth has been just incredible. Celebrities, professional athletes, the owners of professional teams are all getting involved with it. Our next guest has been at the forefront of this exploding market for years. Ari Fox is an executive with Fox Marketing and the creator of the Casino eSport Conference, which is being held in Las Vegas at Alexis Park this year on October 6th and 7th. And to tell us all about it, Ari is on the line with us right now. Ari, thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me, Dave. I'm really excited to be on the show. I appreciate you guys taking the time to talk to me about this. It's definitely something that is a big topic now, especially since the pandemic.
Oh, absolutely. We love esports. And now, Ari, you've been on our show before, but refresh our listeners. What is Fox Marketing? Who's involved with it? And what does it do in the field of esports?
Well, Fox Marketing actually has taken really of a backseat. It was our first company that we built with my brother, Ben Fox, over 20 years ago, almost now going on 25 years. And it was really our first way of connecting with the casino industry. We started doing many different things in the consulting realm and bottom line was Fox Marketing was trying to get people to go to the casino. Mm-hmm. And at that time they were doing pretty well, but we did other programs like they had a big bus program, as you remember, in Atlantic City. So we did bus schedules with ads in them and coupons and things like that. So that worked to really bring a lot of people in down to the casinos. This was obviously before the internet. So we're going way back, although I don't look that old, thank God, but been around a long time. And then, we started doing other things and other ideas. And about 10 years ago, we started getting more involved in video gaming and esports because we realized that the next generation of casino goers would be a younger demographic. And all they do pretty much for the most part is play video games and compete in esports tournaments or watch esports. I always compare it like this. I always start every conversation like this. If back in the day when you worked a job, you'd come home, you'd sit down on your couch, and you'd watch television. Mm-hmm. Today, younger people work a job, they come home, and they sit down and play video games and connect with their friends through the game. And it's almost a cultural phenomenon centric to their lifestyle, just like the television was and TV programs are and still are for the most part, but for an older demographic. That's the demographic and group that we're trying to focus on, and make them realize that a casino just isn't for your grandma anymore or for your parents. It's a place for them to have something to do and enjoy their time there.
Now, you run the Casino Esports Conference, and it's such a great conference every year. What was the inspiration for creating this conference? I mean, what do you hope people will get from the information you provide?
Well, my brother and I, before we started the Casino Esports Conference, we started a consumer event called GameCon. And that event actually is still around. And by doing GameCons over the last 10 years, around that time, we've learned a lot about the demographic and the younger people that that connect to the video gaming industry, that like to play indie games, that like to compete in tournaments. And so we've learned from the street level what this cultural phenomenon is interested in. Taking all of that experience and knowledge, we bring that to the Casino Esports Conference. And at the Casino Esports Conference, we try to express and let the C-list executives understand that there needs to be, the esports is definitely the tip of the iceberg, but there's a bigger conversation that needs to be had. And if you've been out to Las Vegas recently, there's an area that was built it was like a warehouse called Area 15. And then Area 15 is very millennial-centric. It's very Gen Z-centric. It's almost like, it looks like a mall in a lot of ways, but it's got a lot of cool things on the floor. So there's bars, and then along the sides, there's all these experiences, these VR experiences and augmented reality experiences. The place is like dark, but it's really cool for like, even me. I mean, I thought it was pretty cool, but a younger person would even think that's cool too. So people are trying, and it's slowly happening. There's talks of smart casinos, and there's talks of, how casinos are getting involved in cryptocurrency and Bitcoin, which is a very big way of younger people connecting and using currencies that, they are comfortable with. And that's the point of the CEC. The CEC is a conversation at the end of the day. It's pretty much about technology, because that's what drives the younger generations, and that's what the future is. So it's all about the future and all about how the casinos can pivot to make sure that they're around for the next 20, 30 years.
One of the things about esports is that during the pandemic, when I was home by myself and there were no sports to watch on TV, I started watching more and more esports on television and on the internet. Did viewership and interest in esports increase during the pandemic when people were at home and maybe traditional sports had to stop because of COVID-19?
Yeah, well, actually it did. It did increase for a short period of time when all conventional sports were shut down. But like every industry, esports was also affected by the pandemic. Prior to the pandemic, there was a lot of investment in local access networks, which means local access network centers, or what they call LAN centers. LAN centers are where competitive video gamers could come, whether they be amateur or professional, and play against one another, for prize pools, et cetera, and that kind of thing. And they were really building these out all over the place, and they're very expensive. I mean, the Allied eSport Arena that was built in Luxor was a $30 million investment at the Luxor Casino in Las Vegas. And the return on that investment hasn't been there. Not yet, anyway. And, a lot of the people who were gung-ho and building these businesses were like, basically, it's long-term. But, I mean, there are some publicly traded companies out there that have, in their dossier, in their deck, their investment deck, that they're not going to be making money for 3 to 4 years. And if I were an investor, I would say, well, that's not good enough for me. But to be honest with you, the pandemic, yes, helped esports get pushed into much more of a wide-ranged area, or much more of an accepted pop kind of cultural thing, and it's much more well-known. But I don't think it did anything to increase the value of esports overall. And I think that, a lot of companies did lose money. Like I said, the ones that built those physical brick-and-mortar locations, they did lose money. And then some of them thrived that really more, and a lot of the brick and mortar locations actually had to pivot and make online tournaments because people couldn't go to the brick and mortar during the pandemic. So they did. They lost money like everybody else, but at the same time, they got the recognition because then no conventional, as I said, no conventional sports were happening, and ESPN was televising NBA 2K with NBA players playing against one another. And now, permanently, there's a channel, I think, on cable that really just is all about esports. But funny enough, sometimes I tune into it, and they're not even talking about esports. They're talking about other things like the Olympics and things like that. Yeah. So I'm not exactly sure how much content they have, and they don't. That's the thing. So in my opinion, I think esports is going to grow. It's not going anywhere. Going to be here for the long haul, but there's a lot of it's kind of like I compared to the .com era. There were a lot of .coms that came out but never made it, but the internet and a lot of online .coms stayed. So that's the same thing that's happening in esports. A lot of money being thrown at it. There's a lot of investment being thrown at it, but there's going to be a lot of failures, and but there'll be success stories as well. But that's just, at this point, it's just a wait-and-see kind of thing.
Well, let me ask you, I mean, as we were talking about, the Casino Esports Conference is being held in Las Vegas. Right now, is that the hottest location for esports? I mean, if we were to pick out a mecca for esports in the United States, would it be Vegas?
That's a really good question because overall, if you ask me where the gamers live, they live online. They don't live in locations in physical cities and brick and mortar places. So I would say that, there's about 2.7 billion gamers worldwide. Now that includes casual gamers as well as competitive gamers. And the competitive gaming scene in the United States is about, I think they have a very large amount. It's about 3 or 30 million people, or somewhere around there. But I'd have to look at the numbers, but it's not that large on a competitive scale of how many people are playing competitive video gaming. But it's growing every day. And the question you're asking is there a physical location that's better than another?
Yeah.
I mean, the thing is, all of the studios or all of the publishing companies that run all these games, most of them are located in California.
Okay.
So you could say that California is the sort of the area or state that has the best or most gamers. But that's, I think it's widespread. You really, the population of Las Vegas is around 3 million. I don't know how many of those people are actual video gamers, but if you did take the age range between, 5 years old to 30 to 45-year-olds, you could see that there is a lot of gamers in that mix. But I think what Las Vegas is trying to do with the Blackfire Institute being built in Las Vegas and the arena in Luxor, they are trying to make a major move to be the place to go and play video games. And they've had really great successes with shows like their Street Fighter tournament that they've had at the MGM for many, many years now. I can't remember the name of it, but I can. It's been. I think they're trying to do a lot of. They're trying to make major moves there. for sure.
Well, I asked that question because one of the big stories here in New Jersey is that Stockton University in Atlantic City just received $200,000 to create an eSports Innovation Center. And now a lot of people are hoping Atlantic City will become a hub of eSports, whatever that means. Are you starting to see that in the eSports field, more of a bigger investment to actual locations for the eSports market?
Well, here's the thing, Dave. I think that there's a lot of investment going on, and that's another case of like money being thrown at something and then that fixing the problem or trying to start or create a solution. I think that before money is thrown at something, it has to have an audience behind it. The question is there a big audience behind it? And the show I was referring to, or the event that I was referring to in Las Vegas prior, is called EVO.
Okay.
Which is the Evolution Championship Series. It is like the Olympics of fighting games. You have Street Fighter, Super Smash Brothers, Guilty Gears, Tekken. These are all like what they call fighting games, which are like one-on-one. It's basically like a boxing match, but in a video game. And it's a huge event. And recently, actually, as of last year, Sony bought EVO, and that's going to have a bigger. Now it's going to have a bigger and more money behind it as it grows. And I think the first thing that Atlantic City should do is bring in an event like GameCon, bring in an event that appeals to the general public. It's almost like here's your toe in the water. So to throw money at something, which Atlantic City has done for years, because, I've worked there many, many years, and I know a lot of people down there. To throw money at something, in my opinion, and then think that people are just going to come out of the blue is not the way to go. I think you start with events. I think that's how you open up the conversation. And as you build an audience with that yearly event or that, bi-yearly event, you can then you start rolling out your investments into bigger things. In my opinion, I think it's a good idea. I think, but how big is the school at Stockton? I mean, do you know?
It's not very big. I know it's right in the center of town. I know a lot of professors and teachers at the gambling school really are involved in Atlantic City, and I hope, and I know a lot of people are hoping, since Stockton is right there in the middle of the city, they hope maybe the casinos will get more involved in the esports business. So hopefully there's a logical translation into the casinos from that.
Yeah, I mean, also UNLV did the same thing, but there's really not any connection between what, the student body at UNLV created and really pushed the conversation of esports forward. But the integration is really happening in the Blackfire Institute, how to integrate esports, how to make money on it. If a casino doesn't feel they're going to make money on something, there's no point in them doing it.
Sure.
And the only way to make money on something is either have the masses behind the actual directive that you're trying to accomplish, or have the things in your location that can attract people. But again, we're missing the mark here, because there has to be a way to market that. I mean, you can jump $500,000, $1 million, $2 million and build an arena for Stockton University as an esports event. But unless you're leveraging it and there are ways to do it. So once you've built it, maybe you leverage it through tournaments on Twitch. Maybe you leverage it through, connecting through different social media platforms. But there has to be an appeal to all gamers, not just competitive ones.
Well, let me ask you about a way that casinos can possibly make money for esports, because sports betting has been a big topic for esports, and I know you cover it in the Casino Esports Conference. What do you think about sports betting and esports? Tell me about the future for esports with regard to sports betting. I mean, do you see more and more states allowing sports betting on esports?
I think there is going to be more betting on esports for sure. There already is. Yep. I mean, there's billions of dollars that's being bet on esports offshore, and Europe is very big with the games like CS:GO, Counter-Strike, Global Offensive. which is a fighting game. Question then is, how do you, again, you need to have the audience. If you're going to build, I know that New Jersey is working with different groups and different companies that are trying to create an esports betting presence.
Yeah.
But even just having esports wagering and betting isn't going to attract the masses. You have to have that audience. You have to build that audience. Now, some companies are doing some creative things like partnering with like the Philadelphia Eagles and running tournaments for them, and then leveraging those people that sign up for the tournaments to offer the betting product to that. So the company, in essence, the esports company, partners with a conventional sports company, runs the tournament on behalf of that football team, professional football team, and then they're collecting the data, or they're collecting the names and emails of those that are entering tournaments that company is running. Then they turn around and take those emails and promote that they have esports wagering. It's a good idea, but the difference between those that play that are connected to the football companies like Eagle, or the fans that are like fans of the Philadelphia Eagles, I wouldn't say are your typical esport players, or wouldn't say that they're your typical gamers, like the ones that are really diehard. Because the ones that are really diehard that play Counter-Strike and Call of Duty, unless there's been research to prove me otherwise, I don't see them as big football fans. So the question is, why partner with the football team?
That's a good point.
I don't know.
That's a very good point, yeah.
So I don't know. I mean, I could be proven wrong. It could be, but I don't know if that's a great way to do things. But I see that being done. And as far as the wagering being done on esports, I think it's going to happen. It's going to happen more and more. But the question is, do they want it on the brick and mortar, or do they want to make those bets online? I would say, if I were me running a casino, I would put the wagering online and partner with an online betting platform first and build my audience that way, and then have offers back at the casino for them, sort of pull them in different ways as they make more and more engagement on that platform with that casino that's offering esports, but online first.
Now, as I said before, you're one of the creators of the Casino Esports Conference in Las Vegas at Alexis Park this year. When people attend the Casino Esports Conference, what can they expect to encounter when they get there?
Well, we have a great lineup and agenda. We have people that are going to be speaking that are coming from all over the United States. Obviously, with COVID, we have some restrictions, so we're sort of trying to pivot around that by beaming other speakers in from other parts of the world through a streaming platform. So, we have them live on screen, and they can connect with the people that are in the panel. But we have great people that are appearing. We'll have Jonathan Wendell, Fatality, is going to be back, the professional esport player from the late 90s, early 2000s. We're going to have Jay Moses, who is worked with Strauss Zelnick with the company Take-Two Media that created Grand Theft Auto and the NBA 2K game. So we'll have all these people that are coming to our event, and that and more. We're trying to get more people that would enjoy being there. And, we're having this great mixer. It's on a rooftop deck. You can see all of Vegas from this rooftop deck with the mountains. It's going to be amazing. And our major sponsor is NeoSurf, which is a payment system. And we thank NeoSurf very much for being our major mixer sponsor. We're very excited. I think it's going to be an excellent and an amazing conference. It is partnered the same week as G2E, so people who are coming in can stay the rest of the week and really have an amazing education on esports, on video gaming, on augmented reality, immersive experiences. The future of the casino industry really lies within the casino esports. I'm really excited about this year. It's going to be great.
I looked at all the topics in the conference, and you cover everything. And one of the things that caught my eye is that you have a conference on cryptocurrency and esports. How much of a big part is cryptocurrency in the future of esports?
Oh, it's huge. I think cryptocurrencies and exchanges are going to start popping up everywhere for different types of, gamers are very into cryptocurrency. So if you understand the concept behind, like the philosophical concept of cryptocurrencies are like, it's like the development. It's from the bottom up rather than the top down. So with centralized banking and the way they have it, and governments running centralized banking, it's the money runs from the top down. With Bitcoin and cryptocurrency, it's really running from the bottom up. And it's a different type of philosophical economics, and gamers they love it. And not only that, but you also have the NFTs. So that's non-fungible tokens, where that is becoming a huge investment and big attraction for gamers. So we need to discuss that and when we mean NFTs, we're also talking skins and valuable digital currencies that are traded or bought for in the video gaming world. And I think that what casinos need to realize is that some of these NFTs are worth millions, if they're not hundreds of thousands of dollars to some of these people. It's a very different type of culture, and it takes a while to understand that culture. And that's why we have the CEC, so that people can understand what is it that I'm going to be able to do in my casino that's going to have a really big attraction to the next generations.
Ari, remind the audience where people can register for the Casino eSport Conference, which is being held in Las Vegas at Alexis Park this year on October 6th and 7th.
Absolutely. You can go register at Casino, that's spelled Casino eSport with no S, all one word, Casino eSport, CONF. Go to CasinoEsportConf.com. And right there, you'll have all the information on the agenda, who's speaking this year. And we're really excited to welcome everybody back to the Casino eSport Conference. And we really hope everybody comes, has a really good time. CDC guidelines will be strictly adhered to. So we're really excited to bring everyone back.
Ari Fox, executive with Fox Marketing and the creator of the Casino eSport Conference, which is being held in Las Vegas at Alexis Park this year on October 6th and 7th. Thanks, as always, for joining us and telling us about the event.
Thank you for having me, Dave. I'm really excited. I always love coming on your show. You guys have got full energy, and I'm excited to be talking about this.
Oh, it's always great having you. Stick around. We'll be right back with more Turnpike Sports.
Free stuff is awesome, but free stuff that will spice up your bedroom is even better. Just go to adamandeve.com and select almost any one item for 50% off, and then we'll load on the free stuff. Just enter this very exclusive code, BABE16 at checkout, and you'll get 10 tantalizing free gifts, including a sexy item for him, a special toy for her, and a third item you'll both enjoy, and 6 extra special bonus items that are sure to rev your engine, pique your curiosity, and even blow you away. Plus, free shipping! Always sent in discreet packaging. Go to adamandeve.com now. Get 50% off plus the 10 free gifts when you enter the exclusive offer code BABE16. That's BABE16, because without it, no free stuff. That's BABE16 at adamandeve.com.
The Casino eSport Conference returns to Las Vegas this October 6th and 7th at the Alexis Resort. The Casino eSport Conference brings together online and land-based gaming operators with professionals from all avenues of the esports industry. This 2-day conference and exhibition will allow attendees to discover new revenue and traffic through esports events and wagering. The Casino eSport Conference is the preeminent event to meet, share ideas, explore a wealth of product and service solutions, and to find the best way forward in the lucrative market of esports. CEC is the only conference covering the legal, policy, and regulatory dimensions of getting into this constantly evolving form of gaming and entertainment. Panels include experts discussing wagering, mobile social gaming, the latest technology, and much, much more. Don't wait. Head on over to www.casinoesportconf.com and register today to attend this exciting and unique look at the esports industry. That website again is www.casinoesportconf.com. the Casino eSport Conference, live and back in Las Vegas.
It's a casino. People got to win sometime.
Now, if you'll excuse me, I have a giant, colorful check to deposit.
Beatin The House is brought to you by BetMGM Casino. Play your favorite casino games at BetMGM Online Casino. Slots, table games, live dealer games, everything you love about Atlantic City and Vegas, all online at BetMGM. Don't wait. Join in the fun now. Go to BetMGM Casino, create an account using our promo code Turnpike, and become a verified player. New players get $25 free when signing up, plus a first deposit bonus up to $1,000. That's promo code Turnpike at BetMGM.com for a 100% deposit match up to $1,000 plus $25 free. Grab a lion's share of the fun at BetMGM.com. Must be 21 years or older to place a bet. Terms and conditions apply. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
And welcome to another edition of Beatin The House, where we celebrate the casino wins, the sports betting wins, lottery wins, keno wins. Basically, if you win a casino or gaming-themed game, we're going to talk about it.
Yep. We're going to celebrate the people who actually defy the odds and actually win some money from a casino.
Well, we're going to start off in Las Vegas today.
Okay.
Harrah's Las Vegas, to be specific. A Caesars Reward member capped off their weekend with a mega progressive jackpot of $420,409.
Wow. Okay.
I like the way they phrased this, at the recently enhanced Harrah's Las Vegas.
Oh, what were some of the enhancements?
Don't know.
Okay.
I just like that phrasing.
Enhanced.
I'm assuming they had some remodeling done, or they reorganized the gaming floor, or even brought in new games. I mean, there's anything and everything you can call under that recently enhanced moniker. The guest, who, as usual, chose not to release his name, was playing Ultimate Texas Hold'em, the table game.
Okay.
And he flopped a royal flush. So it's one of those games where side bets were involved, all that stuff. And but this one was just a straight, I don't want to say straight. It was just a plain royal flush. He got it naturally, no side bets involved, and he hit the progressive jackpot.
Wow, good for him.
He said that...
We're saying him, but I'm like, we don't know if it's a
yes,
man
we do,
or a woman.
Because I'm going to tell you how I know it's him.
Oh, okay, all right.
He shared with the casino that he intends to pay off his house and buy a new car with the money.
Oh, good for him.
So $420,000 going to paying off his house. I wonder what the mortgage was on that. They had to pay it off. Moving over to a casino we talked about last week, I believe. The Hard Rock Casino in northern Indiana.
Oh, okay, in Indiana.
I'm sorry, Hard Rock Casino Northern Indiana is the name of the casino. Gary, Indiana is the location.
Okay, all right. Is this the first Indiana property that we're talking about?
This is the second one in 2 weeks we're talking about.
Oh, okay. All right.
An Illinois woman turned 88 cents into more than $126,000 when she hit the grand jackpot on one of the slot machines. As a matter of fact, the Golden Stacks 88 Turtle Kingdom slot machine.
I have never heard of that one.
No, it's another progressive jackpot machine.
All right.
Hard Rock Casino, Northern Indiana, took an 88-cent spin, the minimum bet on the machine.
It's interesting that they chose the 88. Well, actually, Golden Stacks 88 Turtle Kingdom, so I guess...
The minimum bet is 88 cents.
They're mixing in the 88. Okay. When I first saw this, I'm like, 88-cent bet. Why would she do an 88-cent bet? But, it's in the title of the slot machine.
Well, this one was won on the bonus features. She hit the bonus, and it went through all the different free stuff, the extra spins and all that stuff. And when the bonus round ended, she found that she won the machine's maximum payout of $126,495.63.
Wow, that's great.
And this was similar to what happened last week. This is the woman's first trip to the casino.
You always like to hear that.
And this is a brand new casino.
I think they found a customer for life. For her.
We're two customers for life. Yeah. This is a brand new casino. It opened May 14th.
Wow. Okay.
The Hard Rock Casino, Northern Indiana, 1,448 slot machines, and it's open 24 hours a day. they included this stuff in their press releases. The records show that the casino in August paid out more than $10 million to slot machine jackpot winners.
Wow, good.
That's a good August there.
That's a good casino to visit if you're in Indiana.
And I guess since this is new to Indiana, they included this statement too. Under federal tax law, a jackpot, also known as a hand pay jackpot, is defined as a single win worth $1,200 or more.
Yeah, that's an interesting tidbit of the law.
I did not even know it's called a hand-to-pay jackpot.
Hand-to-pay jackpot. No, I didn't know that name.
Well, moving on we're going across the country now. We're going on to our side of the country, Bridgeport, New York, with the Point Place Casino.
Now, I've heard of Bridgeport, Connecticut. I have no idea where Bridgeport, New York is.
Well, it's up in northwest New York State because it's run by the Native American Oneida tribe.
Okay, all right.
And
so that's northern New York.
That's northern New York.
New York State.
And the reason why I'm saying it's northern New York, it has to be, is because they have a sports book.
Okay.
And right now, the only place in New York where you can sports bet is in the northwest portion of the state with the Native American
By the
tribes.
way, this time of year is great to visit northern New York State because it is just absolutely beautiful in the fall. So stop by the, wherever this is, Point Place Casino?
Point Place Casino, the sister to Turning Stone.
Okay.
The patron who goes by the name of Scott for the purposes of announcing this jackpot, was playing the Rising Fortune slot machine.
I've never heard of that one.
That's another...
it's another big progressive one?
It's also another... Let me just see if I can phrase this the right way. It's a Chinese mythology, Chinese Asian themed game kind of thing.
All right.
So Rising Fortune slot machine, he did a 46-cent wager.
Okay.
Which is one of the lowest ones you can make on the machine. I don't know if it's totally the lowest, not like the 88-cent thing that we just talked about, but a 46-cent wager, which turned into a $52,000 jackpot.
Wow. 46 cents, huh? That must be one of those things where some slot machines have this thing that, you know, you don't have enough money for 50 cents and you can hit whatever you have left and it recalculates what, you know, you're putting in the machine kind of thing.
Or again, if this wasn't the lowest type bet.
It's got to be one of the lowest, 46 cents.
He may have had one of the gaming slips with 46 cents on it. He just inserted that and played it.
Yeah, maybe.
You know, there's so many different ways you can actually bet now on a slot machine. It's actually kind of crazy. But I took a look at the casino itself. Point Place has 500 slot machines, 20 table games, and a Caesar sportsbook called The Lounge with Caesar Sports.
Oh, okay.
It's actually kind of a nice little sportsbook they got there. They got a 24-foot high-resolution video wall, 30 big LED screens. Really, it actually...
Sounds more than say you called it little. It doesn't sound like it's little. A 20-foot high resolution video wall. It's
compared
pretty
to
big.
Some of the ones we're used to, like Caesars down in Atlantic City. Also, we always talk about Circa and some of the other ones, South Point. It's smaller than those.
Yeah, well, okay.
It's also not a 24/7 book.
Oh, it's not. Well, not a lot of books are. I mean, a lot of books in Atlantic City, they open at 10 o'clock in the morning.
Well, this one is around that same time frame where they open up every day.
I mean, I remember Atlantic City. I had a ticket burning a hole in my pocket. I wanted to get my money, and I had to wait till they opened up at 10.
Well, moving on to the online...
And that was in Atlantic City, by the way, too.
Moving on to the online space, we have our first sports bet to talk about. That we haven't really taled too much sports betting in this section.
We get a lot of, press releases about some of these bets. You know, like a guy gets a 20-game parlay kind of thing for $1, and he gets thousands of dollars and things like that.
Well, this is BetMGM.
Okay.
And they had a situation with this bet itself because the patron who made this bet did it as the free bet that they get.
Oh, yeah, I did one last week.
Now, and I don't know if everyone knows this in the audience, but I think pretty much everyone does. If you're using a free bet from one of the online sports books, you can't cash out on a free bet.
Mm-hmm.
So what happened here, the $25 free bet.
But when you say cash out, it's if you have a big parlay, you know,
right,
or a game, before the end of it, you sometimes have an opportunity to cash out before the game is over.
Before the final resolution of the bet, basically.
Okay.
Whether it's a game or a
That's
parlay.
what you mean by cashing out.
They wagered their $25 free bet on a 16-leg NFL parlay. Basically, they bet the entire weekend.
Okay.
Every game of the weekend.
I usually do that anyway. You put $1 on like this crazy nutso kind of a bet, but you don't put a lot of money on it and see what happens.
Well, he bet 16 legs NFL. $25. If he had won all 16 legs, the outcome would have been $726,000.
Wow. Okay.
Or $727,000. It was $726,900 kind of thing. And this is where the special consideration had to come into play. Going into the last game of the weekend, he had won 15 of the 16 legs. As a matter of fact, here are the picks. Washington, the Bears, the Browns, Rams, Bills, Patriots, 49ers, Raiders, Panthers, Broncos, Cardinals, Buccaneers, Cowboys, Titans, and Ravens. They all won for him. Mm-hmm. He picked successfully 15 out of 15 games going into the Monday night game.
Okay.
Which was the Green Bay-Detroit game.
Okay.
And he had the Lions at plus 400.
Ooh, he's lucky he was allowed to cash out.
Well, he had to go and figure out how to do this, and supposedly the Better and BetMGM worked it out where he was allowed to cash out early, avoiding the loss. So he was able to cash out his $25 bet, and he won $133,000.
Wow.
That's the pre-tax amount.
Wow.
Now, that was actually incredibly nice of BetMGM to do something like that.
Yeah.
You don't hear too often a sportsbook bending over backwards to help something like that. But this had to have been such an unusual circumstance. They went ahead and did something like this, which was pretty cool. So he won, instead of doing the $727,000, he got his $133,000 off a $25 free bet.
Wow, good for BetMGM.
Good for both of them.
Good for both of them. Yeah, no, that was great for that BetMGM did that.
And we're going to end this week on the Ontario Lottery. An Ontario resident has won the lottery for the second time in a year.
Wow.
Yep. And this time we get his name.
I'd be happy just winning once a year.
Robert McDonald walked away with a prize of about $78,000 US dollars, 100,000 Canadian.
Okay.
On September 8th, about 11 months after winning another $39,000 US in October of last year.
So what were these lotteries? Were these like pick six kind of things?
They're one of the lotto draw games.
Okay, all right.
As a matter of fact, he's a 77-year-old man, so he's won over $117,000 for 2 wins. Now, the reason I included this story, I found it interesting that the lottery knew his favorite games.
Really?
According to the lottery, they recognize Mr. McDonald as a regular bettor, and his favorite games are Lotterio, Lottery Ontario, Lotterio,
okay. Right.
Ontario 49, Lotto Max, and Lotto 649.
Boy, they're really keeping track.
They love keeping track of this stuff. And, I guess it helps them.
Yeah, I guess, I guess so. Boy, it's good that they know that much, but boy, they really know a lot.
They know the games. they know who he is. They know where he lives. And he won his second jackpot, matching 6 out of 7 encore numbers in the Lotterio draw.
All right.
So that was the first game that they listed as one of his favorite games. And Mr. McDonald plans to spend his winnings on his family, with the rest of the money going to be future investments.
Great, good for him.
So congratulations to Mr. McDonald for his second win in a year on the Ontario Lottery, and congratulations to all our winners this week. If you have a casino winner, lottery winner, sports betting winner, let us know, info@turnpikesportsradio.com, and we will talk about it.
Our Week 4 NFL picks are coming up, so stick around. We'll be right back with more Turnpike Sports.
Having a rough morning after a long night out? That's why there's Morning Recovery. Morning Recovery is the flagship product of More Labs, and it's scientifically engineered to outsmart rough mornings. Use promo code RADIO15 at morelabs.com and get 15% off of your first purchase of Morning Recovery or any of their other great products. That's RADIO15 at morelabs.com to take advantage of this great promo of 15% off of your first purchase. Morning Recovery from More Labs, so you can work hard, play hard, and live life without compromise.
It's getting warmer outside, and the action is really starting to heat up on the tables at Party Poker in New Jersey. Sign up with code EXIT7A and take advantage of Party Poker's new sign-up offer of $25 free, plus a first deposit match up to $600, and start playing poker online today. Daily tournaments, cash games, sit-and-goes. The Party Poker U.S. network offers players an opportunity to participate in their favorite poker tournaments online every day, all day. And don't forget about their Sunday tournament featuring $35,000 in guaranteed prize money. So head on over to nj.partypoker.com and sign up today with our promo code EXIT7A. New customers get $25 free when registering, plus you also get a first deposit match up to $600. That's code EXIT7A to get your $25 free when registering and your first deposit match up to $600. The cards are in the air at partypoker.com in New Jersey. Must be 21 and over and located in New Jersey. New patrons only. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Talcum Powder Hotline is a marketing firm that represents lawyers jointly advertising their services, non-attorney spokesperson.
This is an important medical announcement. Talcum powder products from some of the best-known brands have been linked to ovarian cancer. Any woman who has used a talcum powder product and has been diagnosed with ovarian cancer may be entitled to substantial compensation. Studies show that women with long-term use of talcum powder, including baby powder for feminine hygiene, can increase the risk of contracting ovarian cancer. Call now for a free assessment of your case and potential money damages. This call is confidential. There's no cost, and you may be eligible. Juries have awarded millions of dollars to women who should have been warned about the risks of ovarian cancer with long-term use of talcum powder. Call the Talcum Powder Hotline. Call 800-575-9786. 800-575-9786. 800-575-9786.
This week's Turnpike Sports Pro Pick segment is brought to you by Play Sugar House Online Sportsbook. Join now at PlaySugarHouse.com with the promo code PIKE and get a first deposit bonus up to $250. Play Sugar House offers some of the best football promotions and profit boosts around. Get a 20% NFL parlay boost by just logging in every Sunday, or take advantage of their early week 20% profit boost every Tuesday for the weekend's NFL and college football games. That's promo code PIKE at PlaySugarHouse.com to get your first deposit bonus up to $250. More bets, better odds at PlaySugarHouse.com. Must be at least 21 years or old to place a bet. Terms and conditions apply. New customers only. Problem gambler? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
And welcome to the Week 4 Pro Pick segment for Turnpike Sports. Each week we take 3 games each, and we choose either the winner by points or by the over-under total, that sort of thing. No money line betting here.
Nope, that's too easy. Although I did win a money line parlay last weekend, so I had a pretty good week parlay-wise. I had a pretty good week for my show picks, too. My first winning week of the season for the show.
Last week you went 2-1.
Yeah.
I ended up going 3-0 again. I've actually
3-0 again. What is your September?
September record is surprising to me.
Okay.
I don't think I've had a month this well over the last couple of years we've been doing this. 8-1.
Wow, great.
That's because I'm taking advantage of the chaos. September is where everyone's starting to figure themselves out.
Yeah, especially, you know what? The first year with just 3 preseason games, I'm sure some of those regular season games counted as a preseason game for a lot of these teams.
Well, if you think about it.
Find out what the hell they are all about.
At the top of the show, we talked about New England. New England traditionally has always used September as extended preseason because that's where New England's vulnerable at the beginning of the season. Then when October rolls around, November, they start getting their stuff together. But, we do 3 picks, and these picks will be up on the Turnpike Sports blog after the show publishes. Go to turnpikesportsradio.com, click on the blog button, and you will see these picks in writing, so feel free to comment on them. Email us, info@turnpikesportsradio.com. Connect with us on Twitter, Turnpike Sports, Facebook, Turnpike Sports, Instagram, Turnpike Sports Radio. I went first last week. Why don't you go ahead?
All right, well, I'm doing the Washington football team, who are favored by 1.5 versus the Atlanta Falcons with an over-under of 48.5. Atlanta beat the New York Giants last week with a last-second field goal, and that's exactly how I see this game going. Atlanta is 8-2 against the spread in their last 10 games against a team with a losing record. And they're 12-5 in their last 17 games as a home underdog, and that's exactly what they are this week. And when I have a problem when there are two evenly matched teams, I usually take the home underdog, and I usually take the points, and that's what I'm doing in this one. I'm taking the Atlanta Falcons.
With the plus 1.5?
Yeah, plus 1.5.
Well, I did this game, too.
Okay.
My analysis was a little different because I didn't do the spread. I did the total.
Oh, okay.
Judging by what these two offenses have done this season, I don't see too much high scoring going on in this game. I also think with Washington football team, with Ron Rivera there, that defense has not been playing as well as it was last season. And with the way Rivera treats his players, they're going to get a little bit more pride. They're going to start playing better, I think, anyway. I think this is the week Washington football team actually comes out and plays a really good defensive game. The under is 4-0 in Washington's last 4 games, as well as a road favorite, which they are here. Also, the under is 10-1 in their last 11 games in October. This is the first game in October.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. The under is also 6-1 in the Falcons' last 7 games as a home underdog. So I'm expecting this thing to not be a barn burner or an exciting game, to be honest with you. I'm going the under 48.5.
All right, my next game is the Indianapolis Colts versus the Miami Dolphins, who are 2-point favorites with an over-under of 43.5. I think this is a game where both these teams are going to push each other to score. I mean, last week against the Las Vegas Raiders, the Dolphins had 330 yards of offense with 22 first downs. Indianapolis had 265 yards against the Tennessee Titans defense. And I honestly think there's going to be a lot of scoring in this game, and I'm a little surprised that it's only 43.5 points. I'm curious to see what the total is going to be right before kickoff, but right now it's 43.5, so I'm taking the over.
Okay, this is going to be a weird weekend.
No.
I went with this game as well.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Totally different analysis on this as well. I did not do the totals.
Okay, so you went with the spread.
I went to Dolphins with the -2. I'm going with the Miami Dolphins. I'll just throw the pick out there right now. Dolphins are coming off that backdoor cover against the Raiders in overtime.
By the way, that's the only game I lost last week, and I lost that by 0.5 point.
Well, I think it's going to be that kind of a close game as well, but I don't think the Colts are good enough to actually come out on the winning end of this. It's only a 2-point spread. I think it's going to be a field goal game again. The road team in this matchup is 4-0 against the spread in their last 4 meetings, and the Dolphins are 12-2 against the spread in their last 14 games following a straight-up loss. I have a feeling that Miami may put something together here, especially without Tua back there. I think if
Jacoby Brissett did very well.
Yeah, I like Jacoby Brissett as a backup. I don't think he's a starting quarterback. But one other stat that kind of was interesting that I found: Miami has won 2 of the last 3 meetings, and the last 2 in a row against the Colts. And both of those wins, the last 2 in a row, were by 6 points or more. So I'm going with a little bit of a track record there. It may not pan out, but I'm going with the Dolphins -2.
I'm a little surprised at the 43.5. I thought these teams would drive up that total a little more because I thought they'd really push each other. So that's my reasoning for taking the over, and I guess that's your reason for taking the Miami Dolphins.
Yep.
Well, my last game, I said it before, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, who are favored by 6 points versus the New England Patriots with an over-under of 49.5. I mean, like I said, this is going to be a long day for the New England Patriots offense because they just can't stop the pass rush. And like I said, I expect Mac Jones to be hurried and hit by the Bucs defense. Tom Brady's returned to New England. I think he's going to be motivated to put some big numbers up against the New England Patriots defense. Plus, he's coming in angry because he lost last week against the Los Angeles Rams. Well, by the way, one other thing, and I'm putting this in the blog and I'm writing it down. I'm putting a prop bet on this game as well. I'm taking Gronk to get an anytime touchdown as well, just to put the cherry on top to beating Belichick.
Oh, I think that's a guarantee.
Oh, yeah. And I'm taking Tampa Bay and laying the points. They're going to win by more than 1 touchdown.
Okay, finally we have a different game.
Okay, good.
I went with the Arizona Cardinals at the Los Angeles Rams. The Rams are favored by 5.5, and there's an over-under of 53.5. Both these teams this year are scoring a lot. The Cardinals have 103 points through the first 3 weeks of the season, and the Rams just carved up the Buccaneers for 34 points. They have 95 points total coming into week 4 here, so I think you're going to be looking at a high-scoring game. The last time these teams played in week 13 of last year, they had 66 points total combined, and 55 total points in the meeting before that. The 53.5, I think, is kind of low. I think that's going to go up by kickoff. I think you're going to see a lot of scoring in this game. The Rams the over is 5-0 in the Rams' last 5 games overall, and 4-0 in the Rams' last 4 versus another NFC opponent. And you also factor in the over has hit in all 3 games the Rams have played in this season, which is kind of an odd stat to have starting a season. So I went with the over 53.5. All right, let's recap for everybody.
You want me to recap first? Okay. In the Washington football team versus the Atlanta Falcons, I'm taking the underdog by 1.5 Atlanta Falcons to pull this one out. And I'm also taking the over 43.5 in the Colts-Dolphins game. And I'm taking the Tampa Bay Buccaneers big over the New England Patriots.
And for my 3 games, I did the under 48.5 in the Washington football team Atlanta game. I did the Dolphins favored by 2 in the Colts-Dolphins game. And I went with the over 53.5 in the Cardinals-Rams game. Again, these picks will be placed in writing on the Turnpike Sports blog. Just click on turnpikesportsradio.com, click on the blog button in the menu, and you'll see these written versions of our picks on the blog about an hour or so after the show publishes.
The book report's next, so stick around. We'll be right back with more Turnpike Sports.
Attention Medicare recipients and anyone turning 65. Medicare has approved new benefits not included with original Medicare and older Medicare Advantage plans. You may not be getting all of the benefits you're entitled to, including in-home aids, telephone appointments with your doctors, home-delivered meals and prescriptions. These benefits may be available and it's a free call to enroll. The new plans may also offer free eyeglasses, free hearing aids, free wellness visits, and gym memberships. Call the Medicare benefits line now. It's easy. Call 800-217-1797. 800-217-1797. Find out if you're eligible for new benefits like meal and prescription delivery, in-home aids, and telemedicine. Some plans may have a $0 monthly premium or 0 copays for big out-of-pocket savings. Not all Medicare Advantage plans are alike. The new plans have more benefits for many people. Call 800-217-1797. 800-217-1797. 800-217-1797.
More bets, better odds at PlaySugarHouse.com. Sign up today at PlaySugarHouse.com and don't forget to use our promo code PIKE to take advantage of their first deposit match up to $250. Must be 21 years or older and in New Jersey to place a bet. Terms and conditions apply. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
During these difficult times, we understand how important it is to stay healthy and safe. With so many of us confined to our homes and not being able to work, we feel the financial burden more than ever. Many folks lost their jobs and businesses. Others were furloughed and some are working from home at reduced pay. Keeping up with your bills is not easy under these circumstances. If you have credit card debt and cannot keep up with your monthly payments, we at Debt Fix Pros are here to help. Give us a call to see how we can reduce your interest rates and lower your monthly payments. Protect your credit and let us help you find a solution that fits your needs. We, your friends at Debt Fix Pros, are here to help. Let us take care of your credit card debt so you can focus on what is really important. Call for a free phone consultation at 800-919-6011. 800-919-6011. That's 800-919-6011. 800-919-6011. United we stand.
Auto Accident Help Desk is a marketing agency connecting callers with attorneys. Providers pay a fee for advertising services.
I love getting my kids ready and driving them to school.
But a careless driver can change your life in an instant, and insurance companies want to settle on the cheap. Auto Accident Help Desk connects victims with powerful lawyers. They fight for you.
I called Auto Accident Help Desk and got help for my pain and suffering.
Don't let an insurance company take advantage of you. Our attorneys fight and beat big insurance every day.
Call 800-297-9766. 800-297-9766.
If you've been injured in an automobile accident in the last 6 months, you owe it to yourself to make this free call with no obligation. We're available 24/7 to help you get the money you deserve for your pain and suffering. Auto Accident Help Desk helps accident victims like you every day.
Call 800-297-9766. 800-297-9766. 800-297-9766.
The Turnpike Sports Book Report.
The Turnpike Sports Book Report is brought to you by BorgataSports.com. Your favorite casino is now your favorite sportsbook. Available anywhere in New Jersey, BorgataSports.com. Sign up at BorgataSports.com using our promo code PIKE, that's P-I-K-E. Make your first wager of $20 or more and you'll get $100 in free bets. That's $100 in free bets when your first wager on Borgata Sports is $20 or more. Get into the action with BorgataSports.com. Must be 21 years or older and in New Jersey to place a bet. Terms and conditions apply. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
And welcome to another edition of the Turnpike Sports Book Report, where we talk about the news and notes coming from the different states around the country as well as Canada. We've been getting new reports here, and it looks like Canada is going to be a daily feature here for this book report.
Impressive numbers coming out of Canada, especially Ontario. Is that what you're going to talk about?
Well, we're going to start off with Ontario.
All right.
The Proline Plus service, which is owned and operated by the Ontario Lottery and Gaming Corporation, basically the lottery company up in Ontario. They have reported that they have accepted more than $6 million in bets in the first 4 weeks of operation.
Wow, that's pretty good.
The lottery company said that single event bets accounted for 77% of all wagers placed on the online sportsbook during its first month of operations.
Wow, that's great. It looks like it's a success. You know, it was a long time trying to get single event bets legal in Canada because they had the parlay system going there where you couldn't bet on a single game. But now that single event bets are going strong in Canada, the numbers are great.
Well, not only is Ontario talking about sports betting, we now have Alberta.
Oh, okay.
Alberta, Canada. Sports betting is now online in the province through the province's own playalberta.ca website.
Okay.
.ca is the domain name extension for Canadian websites.
Okay. All right.
It's not you can do .com up there too, but .ca is the accepted extension for Canadian websites.
Yeah, for Canada, instead of state by state, they're going province by province.
Exactly.
So,
which is kind of an interesting way to launch,
well,
but it makes sense. It makes sense.
I think it makes regulation easier.
Well, playalberta.ca website offers everything: moneyline betting, point spread, over-under, prop wagering, in just about every market. But the one thing that's going to be very fun to watch, especially for this province, it's the first time sports fans in that province, Alberta, will be able to place legal and regulated single-game sports wagers on the Edmonton Oilers, the Calgary Flames, the Calgary Stampeders, and the Edmonton Elks of the CFL.
Edmonton Elks?
Yes.
Really?
I got to go take a look at that and see exactly what the Edmonton Elks uniforms look like.
That's their Canadian football team, right?
There's two, the Calgary Stampeders and
Calgary?
Edmonton Elks.
Edmonton Elks. I knew Edmonton had a football team, but I didn't think it was the Elks.
What was the Alouettes was Montreal?
Yeah, that was actually owned by John Candy at one point.
I wonder if is Edmonton Elks was that one of the other Rough Riders?
I don't
team?
know.
I know there was a Saskatchewan, and then there were two Rough Rider teams for some reason up there, and I never understood how they had the two teams with the same names. But the Edmonton Elks, I'm hoping it's actually a cool looking logo that they have, almost like the fear the deer thing for the Milwaukee Bucks.
Yeah, yeah.
But as you look up...
By the way, okay.
You're looking it up?
Yeah, I found it. I knew Edmonton had the name. I guess they changed it from the Edmonton Eskimos.
Oh, okay.
So they put it to the Edmonton Elks. I'm guessing because they didn't want to change their logo because their logo is 2 E's on their helmet. So Edmonton Elks. By the way, they have a really cool new symbol now with the elk thing.
Have to take a look at it.
Yeah, I like it.
Staying in Canada, we have the Saskatchewan Indian Gaming Authority launching their online gambling. New agreement with the Federation of Sovereign Indigenous Nations. That's the Native American groups up there.
Great.
That's how they phrase them that way, the Indigenous Nations.
Mm-hmm.
Under the deal, the FSIN, that's the acronym for that, and the province, I keep saying province will split revenue from the online gambling site 50-50 going forward.
Great.
And it's not only just sports betting, it's also an online casino.
Oh, okay, good.
Yeah, so they're doing iGaming as well as sports betting. That's expected to launch in 2022.
Okay.
No, not early, not late, just sometime in the year 2022.
Okay.
So that's something to look forward to. Going back into the states, we got a couple news and notes in terms of some of the numbers. Colorado, the Colorado Gaming Control Commission announced their first disbursements from the tax revenues from sports betting.
Oh, okay.
First fiscal year of sports betting brought in a total tax revenue of $8.56 million.
Wow.
And the Gaming Commission announced that the disbursements will be going to the entities named in the sports betting law, especially the Colorado Water Plan, which was the main thrust of getting sports betting passed.
You know, I keep thinking Colorado's in the news so much for sports betting. You think it's been going for a couple of years now. No, it's only been a year.
It's only been their first full year.
Yeah, boy.
So here is the total disbursements. We have a total of $8.56 million coming in through the tax revenue.
Okay.
The Water Implementation Cash Fund, which is the Proposition Double D, that was what the part of the sports betting was there for. They're receiving $7.945 million of that.
Wow, that's a lot of it.
That's most of it. That's what sports betting was passed for.
Yeah,
so.
no, that was in the plan. That's why they did sports betting, is for the Water Implementation Cash Fund.
A required 6% was dispersed to the Hold Harmless Fund, which about $488,000. The Office of Behavioral Health received $130,000, of which the Rocky Mountain Crisis Partners received $30,000 to operate a problem gambling hotline.
Okay.
And $100,000 was appropriated for problem gambling services.
Okay.
So that was the very first disbursement of tax revenue in the state of Colorado.
And it shows why states are getting involved with sports betting. It's making money for special programs and important programs throughout states. So sports betting is a good thing.
Well, before we get into some of the deals and legislation, we got to talk about Connecticut launching probably this week.
Yeah, it's
Bank of America.
Well, it probably launched already.
Well, Bank of America. Before we get into that, Bank of America released a report saying that the top 3 states for online sports betting gross gaming revenue.
All right.
New Jersey, Pennsylvania, and Michigan.
Wow. No Nevada?
No Nevada.
Ooh. Whoa.
Well, again, this is online sports betting.
Oh, well, okay.
Nevada has yet to get rid of that registration requirement, and
it's amazing that having to register or complete your online registration at the physical property, it's amazing to me that would hinder the online performance for Nevada, but I guess it does.
Well, Nevada is one of the few states that's 50-50 almost in terms of online and retail.
Well, let me also say...
So they're never going to be a high online sports betting
Let's be honest, Nevada, specifically Las Vegas, that's more of a tourist place. I mean, the one thing about Pennsylvania, New Jersey, and Michigan is a large number of people live and gamble and are residents there.
Yeah.
I mean, if you, I would bet you about 60% of the people walking down the strip aren't from Las Vegas or Nevada.
No, but
maybe
again,
that kind of hinders that.
Also, it's also most of the places like Reno. That's also a tourist destination.
Sure, they're all tourist destinations.
Well, I don't know about Henderson. I don't know if that's as much of a tourist destination.
The thing about New Jersey and Pennsylvania and Michigan is the population density.
Yeah,
year-round population density.
Also, according to Bank of America, FanDuel is the clear leader in those three markets with 40% overall online sports betting share.
Wow, that's great.
DraftKings is second with about 29%. And then you have MGM. They were a third-place finish at 14%. So you have 40%, 29%, then it drops all the way down to 14%. That's the third-place one.
Wow, okay, that's, what is that, MGM?
That's MGM. Clear leaders, FanDuel first, DraftKings second. In the top three online sports betting states, Penn National Gaming and Barstool were fourth.
Okay.
So it's kind of interesting. And then they also pointed out that MGM, while they were a distant third in those states for online sports betting, overall nationally in the iGaming market, this is everything.
This is online casino
and online sports betting. Yeah. MGM, BetMGM, the BetMGM app is the national leader at 30%. Market share.
Well, look, I love BetMGM. I mean, not only for sports betting, they have a great online poker site here in New Jersey. They have a great online casino, and for the complete package, BetMGM is great.
Well, going on to a couple of launches, and I mentioned I teased a little bit of Connecticut. Now, Connecticut was one of those states where they had everything in place except for the Department of Interior issuing the approval of the sports betting compacts before the start of the NFL season. And that's kind of what they're waiting for. Right before the NFL season started, or the day after, the Department of Interior issued the approval. And they've just been waiting to implement certain things because they had to have the state publish the announcement that they can go live for retail as well as online.
Look, breaking the fourth wall and telling people of the audience, we're recording this prior to whenever this is happening. But I'm assuming when we release this, you will be able to place at least a retail sportsbook bet in Connecticut.
According to reports,
if all goes well.
According to reports, especially by Action Network and Better Collective and a few other sites out there, the publication date that I just referred to of the state authorizing sports betting should have happened on Monday.
Okay.
And once that was issued, retail betting begins.
Great.
Online sports betting begins October 7th. That's a given. Now, but the retail books, and there's two retail books in the casinos with Mohegan Sun and Foxwoods. But you also have the Connecticut Lottery. They're going to be launching retail sites, and there's also...
This is almost like in Connecticut, if what I'm understanding they're saying, this is almost like off-track betting kind of sites.
Well, that's the deal that was worked out with the...
we just drove through Connecticut. I can't wait to see.
Actually, we were seeing billboards for DraftKings and a couple other
in Connecticut.
Sports betting sites in Connecticut. They're getting ready.
So I hear we just drove through Hartford, and I guess Hartford's getting
at some point the Hartford Center
betting site. Yeah,
the Hartford Center will be a retail betting site. But
was Connecticut the state that said no one will live more than 30 minutes?
That's it.
From a sports betting
site.
Well,
the Connecticut Lottery in conjunction with Rush Street Gaming, Rush Street Interactive.
Yeah.
It's also going to be the Play Sugar House brand up there.
Which, by the way, I have that on my phone. I wonder.
It's not going to be the same.
I can't.
No,
okay,
no, because it's going to be through the Connecticut Lottery platform.
I get it.
But they're going to have different retail sites throughout the state. They're also going to be launching possibly this week, if maybe this week, 3 locations in restaurants, bars.
Ooh, nice.
Bobby V's in Stamford and Windsor Locks, and Sports Haven in New Haven.
All right, okay.
So 3 sports bars are also going to have retail
Boy,
betting.
That's right on 95. You go down 95 and you go through Stamford? It's Stamford. I always screw that up.
Stamford?
Not Sanford or Stanford or
that is
Stamford.
Actually Stamford.
There's a Samford, Connecticut. S-A-M Ford,
This is
Connecticut.
Stanford,
Connecticut. Okay.
S-T-A-M. Stanford.
All right.
This is the one when you're coming up 95. It's right, or you're coming down 95 from like Massachusetts. It's right before the exit for 287.
All right. Okay.
So it's close to New York City.
Great.
They're angling for some of that traffic.
You know what? That's I never even thought of the New York angle of that area, but yeah, no, absolutely.
So we could see the launch of sports betting.
That's actually
as this is airing.
Yeah, no, where the right near what's that? Like it's about 15 minutes from the Mario Cuomo Bridge.
Not even. Depending on how fast you drive.
Yeah, people from Sleepy Hollow can take that short trip and do some sports betting in whatever Connecticut town that is.
Stamford.
And
the location that they talked about in Bridgeport, which is supposed to be a really big site that they're trying to put together for that city, could be up and running by the end of October.
Wow, great.
So Bridgeport's going to get some much-needed money coming in. That's a city that needs some revenue
Absolutely.
Speaking of Halloween, you just mentioned Sleepy Hollow.
Yeah, okay. All right, you're bringing in Halloween already, huh?
Let's flip over to Colorado.
All right.
We have the first sportsbook throwing a Halloween party.
Hey, great.
MaximBet. Invite-only Halloween party on October 30th in Denver for members of its Max Rewards program.
Wow, okay.
So that's the loyalty program. They're going
invite
to
only,
only.
Those are always the best parties.
No, you know what it means? You got to sign up for MaximBet.
Yeah, well, sign up for Maxim. I'd sign up for MaximBet just to go to the Halloween party. I mean, I can't because I'm in New Jersey, but, if you're in Colorado, sign up for MaximBet.
Well, they're going to have celebrities, nationally recognized DJs. I don't even know what a nationally recognized DJ is.
Go down to Atlantic City.
Steve Aoki is the only one I know of.
The DJs have their own billboards driving into Atlantic City.
They sign contracts to do runs at these casinos.
Yeah,
so,
I know. Boy,
why not these? And then also they're going to be doing exclusive MaximBet merchandise and more at the party.
Okay.
Staying in Colorado, we have Betfred. Betfred Sports is opening their activation tent. That they had planned to do this before the beginning of the season because the pandemic issues.
Yep.
They will be doing an activation tent at the South Lawn area outside Empower Field at Mile High. I always refer to it as Mile High. It's Empower Field at Mile High.
Okay.
For the Denver Broncos home games during this season. They're going to have a bar area, betting area, that sort of stuff. And they're also going to have a meet and greet during the games with Rod Smith as well as other former Broncos.
Great.
That are part of their brand ambassadorships there. So, those are a couple new interesting things. I've never seen a Halloween party by a sports book.
Sounds like it'll be fun.
I would have thought one of the ones in Atlantic City would have done that. But
yeah.
Good idea by MaximBet. They did something a little different. So, speaking of something a little different, we have our first NHL sponsor patch deal.
Yes, I heard about this.
Caesars Sportsbook will now be on the Washington Capitals jerseys. And it's the very first jersey patch sponsorship under the NHL's jersey advertising program.
I guarantee.
Very first deal for the NHL, very first deal for the Capitals.
I guarantee you're going to see a flood of these coming on now.
Well, you have. I'm going to put this right here. Let's see. The logo will be worn on the Capitals' home and third jerseys. I don't know what a third jersey is.
That's one of those.
That's the matinee jersey.
Yeah, kind of a matinee jersey kind of thing.
Those special event things.
Yeah.
Patch will be positioned on the upper right chest area of the jersey, and it's an expansion of the deal that Caesars has with Monumental. They also have the physical sports book in the stadium. Staying with Caesars, we have another deal, which is kind of interesting because they're showing their commitment to Louisiana. They want to be the leaders in Louisiana, Caesars. They did the deal with the Superdome to put the naming rights together. They now have a deal with Louisiana publications, The Advocate, the Times-Picayune, and the new sports betting site by those papers, bet.nola.com.
Wow, okay.
It'll be exclusive partnerships. It's live updating lines and odds directly from Caesars Sportsbooks. A weekly prop bet unique to bet.nola.com readers.
Oh, okay.
So they're going to have special promotions, special odds, special props. And it's going to be interesting to see because the industry has not set a really firm date for a launch. They're going to be launching this year during the regular season, which will be cool.
I'd be very curious to see if these things were. I'm assuming you can access them online. I wonder if this is going to be a subscription thing.
bet.nola.com.
Oh, okay, you can. So I mean, I can go and read up on. Look, any
there
information.
Are certain areas you can't get to.
Any information regarding betting, and if you're making a sports bet, you want information, and this sounds like it'll be a really great informational site.
A couple interesting deals. We have Rush Street Interactive doing a deal with Magic City Highlight.
Highlight, huh?
The RSI, which is Bet Rivers,
okay,
will have access to use Magic City Highlight's official league data and streaming feeds, so that bettors can watch and wager the games in real time.
I don't know too much about Highlight. I've never seen a live Highlight event or a game or match or whatever the hell they call it.
Well, betting on Highlight is currently legal in Illinois and Iowa.
Okay, only 2 states.
Only 2 states. Other states are planning to do it, but I'm actually curious to see what this looks like. I've never seen the Highlight game. I mean, I've seen it live here and there, but I've never actually seen it on TV before or streamed before.
One of our local channels in New Jersey are playing the old Miami Vice TV show, and Highlight is featured in either the beginning or the opening of, or the beginning or the end of it.
It's
so
in both,
yeah,
so
yeah, no, you see little clips of Highlight.
We have Sport Radar announcing that Michael Jordan will now increase his investment in Sport Radar itself, and also will serve as a special advisor to the company's board.
Okay,
he's going to be doing market and product development and marketing activities for Sport Radar.
Okay.
So Mr. Jordan there, who has been known to place a bet or two.
Yeah.
He will actually be helping them monitor placing bets.
Great. Well, you know what? I mean, I think he's had enough experience at it,
yes.
So he knows what he's doing. So it's a good advisor to have.
2 other quick announcements. Actually, 3 other quick announcements. Speaking of special advisors, FanDuel announced that they are bringing on Craig Carton from WFAN as their first national responsible gaming ambassador.
Good. You know, he does a very good responsible gaming show on WFAN on the weekends. I think it's called Hello, My Name is Craig, and I think
it's sponsored by 800 Gambler.
Yeah, no, it's a really good program. I mean, he's really taking responsibility. He's really trying to help people. He's helping a lot of people. So it's really good. Good for him.
WynnBET announced a deal with the Indianapolis Colts. The West Club at Lucas Oil Stadium will be renamed the WynnBET Club.
Okay.
Open to people 21 and older. They're going to have a sports bar in the upstairs level of the club for betting. Also, they're going to have a WynnBET VIP area. Former Colts defensive end Robert Mathis is a brand ambassador for them.
Great.
On game days, they're going to have a lounge at the team's pregame tailgate area called Touchdown Town.
All right.
So they're going to be doing prizes, fan activations, promos, appearances from Colts legends as well as other brand ambassadors for the brand. And also they're going to be the presenting sponsor of the official Colts podcast and also the title sponsor of the team's mobile app for the season. You're also going to see branding for WynnBET on the north end zone LED screen.
Okay.
So I believe we had somebody do the south gate. Now we have somebody doing the north gate of Lucas Oil Stadium.
Okay.
And last but not least, we have Tipico doing a very interesting deal. Tipico did that deal with USA Today and Gannett.
Gannett, yeah.
It's
like something like $90 million or something.
It'll
like
add
that,
up to all that stuff, yeah. So plus also some other fees for bringing customers, all that stuff. But they did a deal with a company called TVMDOOH. I don't know if I'm supposed to pronounce that.
Are you supposed to spell it out?
I just spelled it out. But I don't know if I'm supposed to say it.
Okay.
But they did a deal. Tipico did a deal with this company in Colorado and New Jersey. It's exclusive in New Jersey, by the way. What TVMDOOH does is they broadcast content into bars, sports bars, and restaurants.
All right.
And Tipico has done a deal with them that you will see Tipico odds and content branded by Tipico incorporated into these broadcasts into sports bars all over Colorado and New Jersey. Other states are probably going to be following, but the contract initially says Colorado and New Jersey, and it's exclusive in New Jersey.
Huh, okay.
So that's going to be interesting to see. I know Buffalo Wild Wings has the BetMGM channel.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out what bars this is going to be in.
Well,
I mean, the local bar down the street, I mean, will it have to have a special TV or a special TV tuned to this kind of information?
I would think the bars that aren't chains, that don't subscribe to DirecTV and some of these other things, that would probably have them.
I'm assuming they must be. I guess their next thing is do a deal with a chain.
That's it for this week's Turnpike Sports Book Report. If you have any news or notes that you want included into each week's broadcast, info@turnpikesportsradio.com. And we'll talk about them on the air, but the print version of this segment will appear on the Turnpike Sports blog. Go to turnpikesportsradio.com, click on the blog button, and you'll see the print version because there are a whole bunch of other stories we did not hit this week, as usual. There's so much going on in the sports betting industry.
And that'll do it for us this week. We'll see you next time on the Turnpike.